Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the What's Going Down version of The Real Housewives of Orange County, Season 19 Reunion, Part 1 of 3, y'all. Yes, 3 parts. I said it could have been 4, but anyway, ain't nobody listening to me over there. You guys, please help me welcome my co-host, Erin, to the stage.
Happy Saturday, aunties and aunts, aunties, unks, everybody that's joining us.
Yes. Ooh, I had a good night. How was yours?
Yesterday sucked. I'll just be honest.
Okay.
It sucked. But you know what? Today is fine. Today I feel like I was joking with you earlier. I'm doing the Lord's work behind the scenes, everybody. If
Yes,
you only knew.
thank you, Lord
you
Jesus,
only knew.
God have mercy.
If you only knew. I'm saving BravoCon for you all. But no, today is a brighter day. Perimenopause is real. Sorry to the unks, hormones, and sometimes you wake up on the wrong side of the bed and then the wrong people want to commingle with that energy. But I am good today. Happy to be here. Happier than those bitches or the bees on that reunion. My God.
Girl, they came out swinging, didn't they? Swinging hair weaves and bonnets and barrettes and everything, child. Yes.
It was text messages and dead cats.
I can't wait for episode 2 though.
It's really interesting because like I said, I was in a hot, have you ever woken up, irritability, like you woke up and anybody could get it. You're just mad when you wake up and you're like, I hate feeling this way because it just feels. So then I'm watching the reunion and that's exactly how all these ladies were, not all of them, but it quickly got to that energy and I was watching it going, I'm matching energy with how I'm feeling, but maybe this is not the best for my mental health with how crazy these ladies are going. Right. But it was riveting, like you said. Like I am ready for episode 2 as well. Not in a good way, maybe, but but in a good way. You know what I mean? Like this negative energy is legit.
I mean, one was okay, but Gretchen came in the last 5 minutes, and we know that's really the point of contention that's really stirring up, Tamra's gander with everything. I mean, she was really horrible to Shannon. I'm like, what is all this vigor for Shannon? I don't know. It's just like Gina said, when you're going through therapy and things start to come out, it may get worse before it gets better. Girl, I guess.
That I do think is a fair statement for maybe what's going on.
I think it's true. Mm-hmm.
I agree. But ma'am, you were awful to begin with, and now you're insufferable. I mean, even Andy is looking at you like you're nuts. And you know what? I hate to break it to you, but this is what gets you fired, and rightfully so. When you get to this level where you can't even see your own stuff, and you're so insufferable that you won't take a knee, like nobody likes you. I mean, you just came out the gate like yucky. Right. And then when Andy's like, can you see what you do? Tell me what I've done. Wow. You know what I mean? I'm like, you really still want to be on a cross with Jesus, but there's no way you can get up there, lady. There's just no way.
All this fussing going on in the hallway. I had to mute. Anyway,
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, girl, Tamara, I don't know if you're just trying to play offense too much. I
Yeah.
don't know, but either way, your offense and defense is piss poor because you really
Mm-hmm.
have no. All you have, own it, Lisa Renna. If this ain't a time for Lisa Renna to walk through and
Right.
say, "Own it," and just walk off the camera, wouldn't that be cool?
Yes, it
Own
would. That's
it
a great idea.
and
Cameo.
walk off.
Lisa, I know you don't want to come back to the show, but we would all truly enjoy you getting a day rate to just walk on through and yell, own it.
Per diem all day.
Yeah.
That would have been the utmost.
Great
You know
idea.
what? If anybody over there listening, watching, listen, if you take this idea, let it be known
Day
that
rate all day.
today, November 8th, 2025, 11:06 or 07 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, I thought of that.
Yes, ma'am. It is documented. Here it
That
is.
would be just on any reunion
That's
when
funny.
someone is BSing around. Own it and walk off. That would just be. Remember that guy we would see on different Instagrams or whatever, and he was rolling on his like in some drawers or something, like maybe just bare chested, legs out, and he'd be on roller skates just rolling through
Listen, you know,
something. But
and
yeah,
they film up in LA. It's not like it's far for you.
you know,
Saying you
and
could easily roll on through.
I'm just saying, even she sachets through, and we all know she ain't opposed to looking a little awkward for a coin.
Nope. I've seen her at Fashion Week.
She said it in these different brand deals she's had, and this, that, and the third. She'll do anything for some, just about.
Mm-hmm. When she
Okay,
needs
so
a check, she'll do a diaper commercial. Absolutely.
hello, hello.
Come
So
on
we got
through.
some, huh? What? I'm
I
sorry.
said, come on through. No, I just was ending the yep. Come on through.
Yeah, come on through, y'all. Okay, so we got the looks, y'all. As you can see, we have them up for you, but we're gonna give a little, a little something, a little up close and personal to these looks here. So now remind me, was it this franchise or different franchise where their together picture was different from what they actually wore? Like one or two people had something different on. Was it OC last year? It was some franchise. It was like,
I can't remember.
no, it was Southern Charm, where someone's dress was totally different from
Oh, okay.
like their cast photo, the reunion cast photos were different from what a couple of people wore on the actual reunion. It was like, wait a minute, who is that? It's
Right.
a different photo. Oh, okay, cool. Anywho, of course, we all talking about the seating chart, yada yada and yada and yada. Yeah, I just wanted to show it just because it's just a little cute
Mm-hmm.
thing to show. But why? No, first of all, I have to say this because it's been it's in my mind. Why was Jen in the front? This on the opposite of um Tamara. That should have been Gretchen, even though she was a friend. Don't you think
I
so?
yes, I do, but I think that because of the friend clause that maybe they were doing that. I guess who it was Shannon and Jen, and then they made and Emily. Um, yeah, it's interesting how who would you put first chair if you didn't put Gretchen there? Because I feel like Jen, Emily, and Shannon. I think Shannon was good to be on the end. I mean, if we're ranking about like how dramatic your shit was, like
Yeah,
it's fine. People are saying she needs to go off the show. Can you give her a break? She carried the season last season. Like, let her have a lighter load this year and not call for her head on the show. Like, I'm not saying Shannon's my favorite, but like, give her a break. She went through the worst year ever. She can have a lighter season, you
right.
know? And I don't need her to leave just because we gave her a break. I don't want to watch a woman snap on TV. And I
Right.
also do think, actually, now that I look back on it, or as we do at the reunion, I think the comment about her dad's drinking and what went down was actually really crappy. She had to talk to her dad about that stuff. And it looked like an emotional, sad moment there, you know?
Yeah, it
So
was.
she didn't escape without any sort of, um, any kind of emotional cost, you know what I mean, this season. And I'm sorry, but like I need to double down and note Tamara's saying that Shannon didn't care that her dad was outed as an alcoholic because she just doesn't want to make it look like she is one of the most disgusting comments I think I've heard. Like that's so vile. And
I said that
you did.
definitely. It
You
was
did.
like,
You did.
oh,
I didn't give it the gravitas it deserved at the time,
like,
and you did. And looking back on it, I have to say that is just a disgusting thing to say about someone, that they don't care about their father or their reputation or and look at how we shame people with alcoholism. Like look at all of the shame and um humiliation that goes along with this, and the way that our society still feels entitled to treat people that have substance abuse issues, and you're going to act like that literally Shannon didn't care that you were bringing it up, even though Shannon never said it was her dad. She just said she went to Al-Anon because of a family member. So
mhm.
you outed her dad, and you literally said she didn't care about that. She just didn't want to be one while you're going off and sneaking drinks with her. Ooh.
It is
Oh.
infuriating. And how dare you? Now, if
Ooh.
that don't deserve a pop in the mouth, I don't know what to.
I agree with you. Driven to violence. Throw water on Tamra.
And that's what I mean by all these. Listen, when people say I don't condone violence, please. Yeah, of course we don't want nobody going around
No.
unjustly, but
There's
that's
a
what
certain
you don't condone is unjust violence. But
right.
girl,
Well, because there's a such thing as verbal violence.
if it's necessary, doggone it, it's condoned.
Sometimes someone needs to be slapped in the mouth. Sometimes like when you're a little kid and you bite your mom or something and they pop you in the mouth, be like, like, ooh, I'm not, whatever. You know what I mean? It's an instance where you're like, wow, wow.
Okay.
Yeah, that was, and what did Tamara say to Shannon? Yeah, I was mad. That's all you got? That's so, the fact that you could even say something
Lame.
like that and then not have just an apology as a caliber of your integrity. Like if I went that low at someone, unless I seriously hated them and did not care, then that would be like, I'm sorry, I'm going to hell and I'm not going to apologize because I met you there, right? I'm not. But if it's a castmate that I have a rocky relationship with and I took out an innocent elderly, like, and was that nasty, if I didn't apologize, like that speaks to your moral fiber.
True. True.
It's nasty.
Okay, so let's look
Nasty
at these
work.
looks real quick.
Right. Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
No,
Fell
no
off that
worries.
train.
So here we are, right? So if while you're looking at this one big uh, collaborative, we have Tamara on the left, reading left to right, top to bottom. Tamara, then Gina, Emily, my girl Heather, Shannon, Katie, Jen, and my girl Gretchen. So let's do a little what do you call it? Up close and personal. So here we go with Tamara. Basic. I
Meh.
didn't see anything that was extraordinary. It was real basic, like
Mm-hmm. Her boobs look way better than they did. Good for her, because she talked about it. So I'll make a comment. They looked crazy in Amsterdam.
Yeah, her jacket open.
Yeah. Oh. Ooh. Um. You know, her lipstick was nice. It was very everybody in these lip flips, man. They're all getting these big upper lips. Trying to get rid of filler. They look, and then they have extra gloss on there. End up looking like a prolapse, but she looked all right. This color did nothing for her, in my opinion.
I liked her hair. I liked
Mm-hmm.
the darkness to it.
Yeah.
It didn't look so obviously not hers, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes it be looking like it be looking.
Salt Lake
Um,
City.
but I liked the hair more than I
Mm-hmm.
liked her fit.
Agreed. It's a very nothing burger.
I mean, putting a brooch and grouping it up on the side isn't really coming through for a reunion. The things she wore, them hot pants look better than this that she
Mm-hmm.
wore out there in Amsterdam. Just saying, just saying. So next we have Gina looking snatched and beautiful. Her hair also, it was looking quite luxurious. I like this. Um, yeah. What say you?
I love this. The color is my color. This is my power color, everybody, or one of them. I love that it's out this season. I thought she looked amazing. I thought it was really cool. She looked great. For once, Gina knocked it out of the park. Bravo.
Yes, she looks elegant, beautiful. I love that.
The see through vibe really worked. I wasn't over it
Yes.
because it was just enough. It was cool. And then there was the sequins with the color. And she looked amazing in it. So kudos to you, ma'am. You absolutely
Mhm.
stole the show with this one.
Next, we have Emily. Something else that was just, I loved her hair better than the dress. Again, like Tamara. Yeah, she lost some more weight back in the gym 7 days a week. And I can see her look. Yeah, she's looking great. She's looking great.
She is. I think I appreciated what she said when she said I wasn't taking care of myself, because I do think that that was reflected in the season, and poor thing had to talk about that confessional. Um and it, to me, it wasn't that. I mean, yes, you did kind of look like China. We all have a bad moment. Somebody needed to tell you no to that confessional. But I really do feel like right now you look like you are connected to your body and you're healthy. I don't want Emily to ever get too skinny, because I'm like, you represent like a healthy looking woman and you're so beautiful when you do it.
Mhm.
Someone did make a comment on a chin implant and I was like, oh,
Oh.
yeah, but I mean, yeah, she's copped everything else, but yeah, somebody said chin implant. Um, I liked the gold shoes with the dress. Um, I thought the tomato orange red was kind of cute.
Mhm.
I, she looked good. I personally, because I'm a very like busty curvy person, I like simple. I don't like a Gretchen outfit would be too much on my body type. It just is not my personal style, right?
Mhm.
So I can appreciate this, but I will say it's underwhelming as compared to like Gina's simple. There was something kind of just missing about making it a little extra special. But the hair was herring. She looked beautiful. I was happy to see it because I know she did have a tough season emotionally.
Yeah, and I want them to start showing us a 360 of these outfits because,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the back is also important. We need to see what you look like walking away. So if anybody watching, listen to watching, show us a 360 por favor. I couldn't find nothing online. Not even a side view, child. Just come on, y'all. Show us a little something, something. Thank you. And next we have my girl Heather. Boring.
So
Same
boring.
hair, boring.
That confessional she had in that red dress would have been better than this.
Heather, you've been the life of the party all season. Why you come and make me go to sleep at the reunion? I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
and this color on you is boring because you always wear black. So it isn't a change of like it isn't I get that it's in right now and it is a beautiful color, but like it's so boring.
Who else? Oh, my girl Shannon. Where's she at? Bador. Here we go. I can see cute little party dress, you know. Yeah.
I get Shannon has kind of that like, like she has great legs and the area she always tries to protect is the abdomen. Um I think it's cute. I just I don't know. I've just seen her. This was fine. I've seen her look better. I've seen her look way worse. So, the skirt is really cute. I felt like there was like I think the top needed maybe like a square neckline in there or something. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I did not like her hair, I must say. It was, quite
No, I didn't either.
drab. I would have liked something else to go on. But I appreciate the baby doll
Mm-hmm.
dress and the puffer kind of,
Yeah,
area around the sleeves. Maybe if there was some more puffer drama around, I don't know, anywhere else on the dress. I don't know, but it was cute. I would wear the dress actually. I would. Her and Gina's, I would wear. And so far, nobody. Ooh, now Katie, she's all. This was pretty. It
yeah,
was elegant. It gave me Dynasty in a way. It reminded me of the Dynasty days. I would have liked to see the back, of course, because it seemed like maybe the back was out. Her body is, I don't want to say to so what for, but she can do no wrong in anything she wears. She's like, what's that, sample size, I think they call it. She is beautiful.
she is.
Um, and really, I can't see her doing any other hairstyle but this. And it just works. She is gorgeous. So I really don't think another hairstyle would even matter. She can really wear some clothes.
She can wear some clothes. She has a great fashion eye. Her blush was a little crazy. It reminded me of Erin on the Real Housewives of New York reunion, where some Erin Leachy. Oh yeah, sometimes that baked on blush look in the wrong lighting can look a little crazy. So that bugged me. I think it might have been kind of like where she was sitting. But she nailed the assignment as per usual.
Oh. And next
Um,
we have, who's that? Jen. You
Terrible.
know,
No, yuck. No. Mm-mm.
I
Nope.
I'll say this. I think the color is complementary. I just don't think she's an attractive woman, and it shows and it shines through. And I hate to say that, but it just comes out like you're trying. And I really hope I'm not saying it wrong. I just don't think it's. I want to see something totally different. Accent. I don't know. It's just
You know who she is to
basic.
me? She's a poor man's Taylor from Beverly Hills.
Oh,
And even that was a bit of a struggle bus because of, how much work Taylor had obviously had done or whatever, the lips and the whatever, right? And so she's overdone at this point. She's too skinny. She's had her lip flip too big. Her, I think she might have gotten her boobs redone. The hair extensions are too long. Like everything is just like you said. And I'm sorry, ma'am, it looks kind of bolted on, like in all ways. You look like a manufactured person. And it makes me sad because it's the outcome of being insecure with a former ladies man. I get it. You're like really obsessed with all of that, and it's very easy. I mean, look at Miami. Half of them have gone to this look. You know what I mean? Where it's like, yeah, stop. It's too much additives, you know? So I respect it, but like, um, you have not had the glow up that others have had. This is, yeah, I'm sorry. You know, like, you need 5 pounds back on. You need to calm down with some of the hair extension stuff and stop messing with your face.
And next we have Gretchen, my girl, came in slaying. Yes, I think she took first place. She had more detail, and the detail wasn't bad. It wasn't, it was made great the way the dress is. I really liked how it complimented her. It didn't take away from anything. Of course, her hair was perfect. I just think she slayed in every way, shape, and form. Not just because she's my girl, but she did that.
Gretchen has an amazing little figure. She looks great. This is, I think, from the same designer as who did her dress in the after show. I can appreciate a lot of elements to this. The color is beautiful. It is busier than I would ever wear, but I'm not I'm not dissing that, because like I don't think this was definitely like a pageant type dress, but I thought she did it beautifully. I challenge you on the hair though. Go back and watch a scene toward the end or something. When you see her up close a little bit, it's a little bit of a hairspray, stray hair mess. The curls weren't. It's a little crazy if you see it up close. It's a little chicken fried hair. But Gretchen, I mean, talk about an hourglass. Gretchen, you know, everybody talks about this. Gretchen has a bit of theater and pageantry to her outfits. You either love it or you hate it, but I think we all can appreciate it. And the color was really neat on her. It had just enough like salmon in it or whatever, like coral, to like pop versus Tamara's.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Pretty cool. I really like these looks. Again, she was my fave. Who was your fave?
Gina.
Yeah.
Just that color alone, but the way I mean, because it's not just the color alone, because Heather had the same color. No, I like Gina. Gina's my style. That's I like the simpler, but I appreciate Gretchen's. I do think that she looks great. I do. And I think the see-through part that she did on the dress with like where the skirt kind of like twisted and stuff, it was great.
Mm-hmm. Nice. All right, fit. Drag Race. Here's a dress.
Yeah. Hello.
Play on, player. Okay, so getting into this, you know how they do the welcome and everything, and these crows, come my girl, these crows out there fighting across the street, child. Wish I could show y'all. Oh my, but they must be upset. Anyway, so you know how Andy welcomes everybody, okay, so how's this? How's that? Yeah. So the welcome turned into full-fledged on. So Shannon is fresh from the Golden Door. Was that 15K for 1 week? Oh my goodness.
I think so. Something like, I think, yeah. I don't remember exactly, but a lot. Yeah. I think 13, but whatever. You're in the range.
Girl, too much.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes. Too much for cultural appropriation down there. No, I'm just kidding.
I was just about to say, and it's the culture vulture of it all. Like, come on, y'all. Good grief. Now, was that last season? It was last season, child.
Mm-hmm. No, it was the beginning of this season. Because remember, doesn't it feel that long? Yeah, it was right in the beginning. Because remember, Katie had no service and she couldn't prove that she did or didn't call somebody.
Girl, and how many times, girl, do we seem like that was last season too? It was like deja vu. Oh wow, that must be like the first 2 episodes, huh? Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Well, this is the first franchise in a long time that we've had this many episodes. because everybody else finished about 15, 16. Like, okay, reunion done. Boom.
Oh, just a side note, DM rocks. Hey, or sorry, I don't even know that. Hey, I went to an event that Tamara and Katie hosted, watching the reunion part one. You need to tell us more about the Katie was so nice. You
Oh,
need to
wow.
tell us. Hello, hit us up in the. Let us know about this. Inquiring minds want to know.
I tell you what, at the end, if you're still around, I'll invite you up. Just let me know if you're still here and so we can hear about it. We love a good
Yes,
exclusive.
please. DM rocks. We need to hear about this.
Yes. Thanks for sharing.
Of course, Tamara and Katie. Of course. T. I'm sorry I didn't see this until now. Anyway, okay.
So after the Golden Door and Shannon, we hear that Heather, even though she's not on the RHOBH cast, he asked her how was her drive because that was her reasons for wanting to be what she said was her reason for wanting to be on the Beverly Hills Housewives show. And she's like, oh, it was only like 7 whatever minutes because they filmed closer to her somewhere in Hollywood, I guess. Um, that's interesting. And then we hear that he compliments Emily. She looks great. Like you mentioned earlier, she wasn't taking care of herself. So now that she does, she lost about 25, 30, maybe 35 pounds. And she works out 7 days a week. That's great. I hear about this thing called 75 Hard, where you go 75 days, work out twice a day. One of the workouts is indoor, one, and of course the other workout is outdoor. No or low sugar. You read a book for 10 minutes a day. You That's like your reading meditation moment. And of course, you stick to a low carb or no carb diet, mainly meats and veggies, real proteinish. Drink 1 gallon of water a day. So
I need to look this up. I think I might need to do a 75 hard because I already walk 4 miles a day with the dog, but I'm like, I could get into 75 clean living. You know what I mean? Like I could do it.
right. Oh, also no substance, no of any kind. You want to just, kind of just keep everything in a certain way,
Yeah.
but
Oh no.
mainly no drinking. That was the main thing because of the calorie intake.
I could do the no drinking, no greenery. That I don't know
Well,
about
hey,
that,
hey.
but the
But
no
you can
drinking I could do.
tailor it.
Yeah.
Listen, it can be tailored also with the workouts at least 45 minutes each workout. So you're doing at
Okay.
least 90 minutes per day, and that's every day for 75 days. So, and it also has something called 75 soft, where it's a little more lax on all of those things that I mentioned, except for the reading. So, yeah, if you
Okay.
look it up, you'll get it. It's just something, just like Google is your friend or whoever's your friend.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Um.
I wonder if she did that, but anyway,
Yeah. Well, it sounds like she got a lot going on though
yeah,
with the lasers and the baby. Did they do that? Did they do that when they asked her right away, or that's later? That's later,
that's
huh?
later. Yeah, we're gonna get
Sorry.
into that
Okay.
later.
Okay. Okay. I'm like, cause they were asking her how she was doing, and like that blends all together for me. But anyway,
Yeah.
she looks good, and I'm happy to see that because I think Emily, especially with what she's expressed with Heather and the jeans and the whatever, Emily feels better when she feels good about herself too. And when we're exercising,
Hmm.
we feel better. Period. So it's good for the
Definitely,
mental.
definitely. Um, Then he asked about Gina, how's business? She said, "Oh, work is great. The reality game is great." She said she's just schlepping right along, her and Travis with their business and everything. No complaints, none at all. And then we get to Katie. And and he says, "Katie, you were missed." I said, "Motherfucker, please, come on. If she was missed, there would never would have been a chance to miss her. And there was no need for us to miss her. Must we keep saying that?"
Yeah.
Uh, Head tilt.
Yeah.
Just, just. See, See, if I was her, I would have came in real sarcastic. Oh, well, I would have said something to that effect, like, shade and real quick first, because I would have been just real on ready, set, go. As soon as I sat down, as she was, but a little more ready, set, go. She, Katie, come on, girl. I'm rooting for you, even though you are hardly innocent. Still, I'm rooting for you because they didn't have to do you like that. Just saying.
No, they didn't. And they need to explain why they did. Like,
That
because,
part.
I mean, come on, production.
That
Alex, if
part.
you're already in Andy's ear, y'all could explain what made you decide to do that, because it really did strangely throw off the chemistry of the group, especially now that she's back and we're like, revisiting these things. And even like you have said in the past, you could be doing some family shots, some side stuff. You could have kept her in the storyline. I don't agree with like erasing her completely for the rest of the episodes, because it just makes you ruin the rhythm. But Katie, we're I don't know if I'm rooting for you. I don't know what I think about you. Other than get like everybody's trying to give you a shot, but like even your first shot fired missed.
Give her an opportunity.
100. I'm willing to. Yes.
Again,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, girl, you ain't innocent. However, explain why she was not aired, not just filmed with, but why wasn't she aired? There has to be a
Mm-hmm.
logical explanation as to what she did to not be aired, not because the cast wasn't comfortable. That's some
Yeah,
bullshit.
I agree.
And next, the next line I have for Jen, he's asking her how she doing. Did Ryan help you put some together? Yeah, she gave a sleaze comment, as she often does, is trying to get in to fit in. Girl, bye. I don't like her. To take her off. I'm done with Jen Poblano, whatever her last name is. I'm sick of leave Ryan, hell, but get rid of her. She's full of it. Her and Alexis need to go do something together, because Jen is full of it. She got caught in the lie, and then she acted like she didn't tell Katie that, and Kate and then because Katie had to come in and girl, oh, I don't like Jen. I just don't. I don't.
She is
Mm-mm.
I'm curious to see how she performs at this reunion.
Me too.
I am underwhelmed, and I actually think that it's showing some character flaws how she's chosen to move. Um, so yeah.
The next we see Tamara. We had a little tete-a-tete early on her chesticles. She had breast reconstruction, of course, like Heather mentioned. Oh, well, every woman goes in. Oh, well, while you're in there, you might as well tweak this and tweak that, whoop de whoop. So she got some reconstruction because apparently something was on her shoulder, dislodged, or,
Her
you know,
pectoral muscle.
yeah, just all toe up and all up in her chest wall cavity. So reconstruction with that, and then just the whole situation was reconstructed. So hopefully she's done and everything's fixed, and she won't need to have to refix it and refix it. Oh, cosmetic can be so troublesome. My goodness.
Well, she didn't do enough reconstructive surgery on her spirit. Shoot.
That's next. Ain't
Yeah,
nobody,
she
ain't
needs
nobody
a
mad at that.
don't get any more peels or pulls or tugs or anything. You need to work on that spirit, that caliber of your character, lady.
Speaking of caliber of character, so Andy just, starts with Tamara. So I saw that you went to Alexis's wedding. How was it? And then she wants to give a little disclaimer. Well, I don't know how I want to talk about this in front of Shannon. I don't know if that was a dig or she was really being genuine, considering 8 seconds later she's, dragging her down, and pretty much a whole first episode was Tamara just being totally a doofus towards Shannon and just, treating Shannon like the bottom of her shoe. So I don't know. Do you think that was a dig, or she was really concerned?
You know what I've been watching Tamara do kind of all season? She'll do this, and this is where I do think there's a little bit of genuineness, and I do think there's a little bit of credibility to what Gina was saying about therapy and stuff. I felt like she was trying to give Shannon a little bit of an olive branch, but she's expecting Shannon to like lick booty. You know what I mean? Like she
Mm-hmm.
wants a super duper duper nice response back, or she immediately gets nasty. Right? Like, remember when they were in Amsterdam and Tamara and Shannon were talking, and Shannon was trying to tell her, you called me a C word. Shannon was saying, I'm trying to move
Right.
forward with you. I'm trying to be nice. And Shannon's like, well, you've dogged me out hard. And then she was like, well, you are a C word. So it's like, girl, you can't have it both ways. You can't say, come, let's be friends. Come have a drink with me. And then the second you don't get like super duper fake nice because somebody has like, you have to earn it back. You have to have some
Mm-hmm.
accountability. Then she flips into this trauma nasty person, right? That you just don't even want to deal with. And then not understanding why everybody's flinching when they're trying to deal with her. I do think there's a bit of vulnerability there. I do think that she does have feelings, but this hotbed of like kick you back, like snap back is ridiculous. It's unreasonable to expect anyone to accept that olive branch because like a fire breathing dragon is 2 inches behind it.
Just real childish with it. Like, this is
Yes.
something little kids would do in church and they
Mm-hmm.
get popped. I'm just,
Right.
just saying,
Yeah.
like, what are you, what the hell? 57, how old you a girl? Grow up. If this, like you said, when Gina mentioned the therapy, because he did also ask about that, and just trying to work through it, and both Gina and Shannon had a little go because Tamara thinks that she's owed grace,
Yeah.
as if
Excuse me.
I think it's her definition of grace, because it's not anything civil as how she performs exactly what she's trying to convey, and it comes off, like her, playing into being the asshole of the group. It comes off self-serving. It comes off like she's trying to bullshit everybody to not come back at her so hard when she's just thrown everybody up under the bus, front tire, back tire. And it's not respected, Tamara. It's really not.
No.
And I think that's why people are choosing other people or on the side of other people, because you're so nasty with it. Like, well, damn, maybe you need to go to therapy twice a week. I don't know.
It's the fact that we have to, as human beings, stay open to the fact that sometimes we have to be open to feedback. That sometimes we are the asshole. Sometimes we aren't looking at something from the right perspective or the right frame of mind. I do think you should genuinely be your own advocate, stand up for yourself and all these things. I'm fine with that. I get on a combative show how you can really like have to do that in order to survive. But as Heather says, when you're dead, lie down. Like you're getting the constant feedback that you have to acknowledge how little grace you gave Shannon when you are asking for it this season because you're coming in like a hot jerk and nobody's appreciating that you're being such a jerk. And you keep saying, I need grace because of what I'm going through. But you somehow think it's okay. Everybody should give you grace for being a jerk, but they shouldn't give Shannon grace for having a substance issue. Like, why? Because one you think is like more shameful than the other. Like, they're not. Being a jerk because you're not coping with your life, or drinking too much alcohol because you're not coping with your life, is deserves acknowledgement of, I'm out of balance in my life. I need some help. I need some grace. I need some support. And period. And until you can absolutely just accept, even if you don't really believe it, until you can accept the outside feedback that we're all telling you, you will continue to look like the villain and the asshole. Period.
And I want to add to that. I agree with all of that. But I want to add, sometimes when everybody is saying the same thing, it
Yeah.
may or may not be true. But in this case, you've proven that, as Andy pointed out on two occasions, that
Yeah.
you are you can't not accept it when you're doing it, and it's brought to your face, and then you're still trying to not own it. Again, Lisa Renna, own it and move on. But the fact that you can't, you want to try and live in that therapy bubble so people won't tear you a new one. It is what it is, boo boo. That's how life works.
Yeah. And not only that, but we also sometimes we have to get out of the specifics, where you don't get to say Teddy having cancer is not something I did to myself, whereas Shannon's drinking problem and the accident, the DUI, is. We are all human beings, and it gets to a point in relationships where you don't get to do that, because we don't all have universal opinions about these things. Even when it comes to
Mhm.
like morality, yeah, there's some general operating rules. If Shannon killed somebody and Teddy has cancer, of course, we can easily differentiate. But both of you were going through very rough times, a lot of circumstances, and we've been on this journey with you and have seen you as people. So, you expecting to have some kind of humanity because you think that somehow your life circumstances are not self-induced. Well, yeah, they kind of are, because everybody's looking at you like you're an a-hole because you're being one. So, you're picking the fly shit out of the pepper, as my dad likes to say, because once Shannon had her accident, she was incredibly humbled by the situation and crawled back to the group like, I'm sorry, la la la. Yeah, she wanted to still drink and whatever, that's her business for now. And but then you had this situation with Teddy that was really, really tragic, and everybody felt for you. But instead of being humble and looking to the group for support, you just acted like a jerk and you wanted everybody to be cool with it. So who's more in the wrong? The person who is trying to learn from their initial mistake, or the person who wants grace to because of the way they're reacting to a situation?
Tamara, girl.
You're messing up the
Tamara.
point.
And then Jen tried to get some, talking about, well, if you're an adult, when you make a change, you should just do it. Who made you the change police?
Pay your bills and then I'll listen to you. No, I'm just kidding.
Girl, I would have not been mad. I would have never been mad at that. Like, it would have been a reading session. Girl, wait a minute. Let's start with A.
Well, it does make me look like a hypocrite for me to say, but like sometimes you just don't need to pipe in like the moral compass. Sometimes you just don't. Sometimes your leg to stand on is not so sturdy. you know, like, um, Jen, I know you really don't like Tamara and the way that she's treated you, but like, listen, accept the fact that you came from some real colorful beginnings and you're still trying to crawl out of that hole. The best thing you could do right now is to stand up for the fact that you waffled like a cone, soggy in the sun, between Katie and Gretchen, and like, throwing people up under the bus or not. You know what I mean? Like, that's where you need to stand in your ground. Don't be trying to tell Tamara what to do.
Now, this part was interesting because Katie had to get some too. So a question was posed, or whether actually Tamara kind of chimed in about being iced out because Shannon
Oh yeah.
was upset about the grace comment. Like, well, you didn't give me grace, and that's not. I don't want to go backwards. But then Tim's like, oh no, we're going back. Just like you were trying to ice me out and telling folks. She was like, I never tried to. And then Katie was like, oh, so you never said that, meaning to Shannon, since Tamara accused Shannon. So Katie is now chiming in to Shannon. So you never told production to give my girl, Gretchen, my peach? No. And then Katie was like, Jen, you never said this. She said, yeah, Jen, we believe you. We believe you said that to Katie. But then the producer person that apparently told Jen, who told Katie, whispered in Andy's ear, leave me out this shit.
Alex Baskin himself, the head producer.
Yeah, he was like, leave me out this shit. So, yep. And then Andy was like, well, he never said he said it. And then Jen was like, mm-hmm. And then Katie was like, oh, okay. See, Katie, that's when you dig into Jen's cheek.
Yep.
And say, on such and such day, on such and such, give more. Don't just lay down. That's when you assert yourself. No. I think we need to delve into this because on other occasions, she seemed to know what's going on. But in the heat of things, she wants to act oblivious as if she wasn't even in the room.
Yeah, this was
when you get into it. But no, you just let it slide.
And whatever tiny little cheek she has to offer, because I know she ain't got much on the bottom or the top, on the face or the bootay. But no, I agree with you, Katie. Such a misfire here. Like I don't know if this is when you first chimed in, but the way the editors made it look, like, honey, you gotta deliver. You gotta let that missile needs to land. Like you came out and said, oh, like when Shannon did what, and then Alex Baskin made you look like a fool. Production is not on your side. Like, wow.
Ooh, just a perfect fumble.
Yeah, truly. Fumble. Yeah, because it made her look, it just made her look even more like a lie. You know what I mean? Like it didn't help her case in any way.
Right. It didn't help. And if you're going to bring it, Heifer.
Yep. And to your point, if she's going to deny it, dig in that cheek. Yes, you did. You did say that to me. Why would I be saying this now? You said that to me. Because you guys are not friends.
Do something that makes it that makes her unbelievable.
Well, what we're all doing is looking for Katie to stand her ground like she's been doing in all her interviews with sympathetic press. So you can go on Nick Vile's podcast and say that you stand 10 toes down, that you didn't tell Kiki Monique that rumor, but you are not standing 10 toes down looking in Jen's face, who is not your friend anymore, obviously. Don't try to salvage that. Y'all are not friends. Look at her and say, you said that to me, and you won't stand up for one damn thing you said to me because you're using this cloak of I'm a liar to not be accountable for any of the gossip that you and I shared when we were besties. And I'm not going to let you do that because you've already hung me out to dry. So now we're going to be on the clothesline together, bitch.
Yeah, Jen is writing other people's storylines / coattails to dig into Katie to hide the fact that she was saying these things. She was present. She does remember. She just doesn't want to. She just wants to not be on Katie's side or look like she's backing her up for the sake of keeping friends on this show and staying on this. It's so obvious. I could be wrong. I don't think I am.
I don't think you are either.
Now, speaking of not being wrong, Tamara, okay, so when Shannon went back and then Shannon brought up the fact about her dad, and like you mentioned earlier, having to explain to her father that his, alcoholism was put on the show by someone that she does not get along with. And then Tamara said, well, back in 2015, King, when you spoke with Bronwyn on camera, you said, and then they showed the footage. What Shannon said was she grew up with that in her family. She didn't say who it was. She didn't name names, and that wasn't for you, Tamara, to bring up. So if you want to go verbatim, what would have been respected down to Temecula was, well, when you said before that you grew up with it in your family, blah blah blah. I don't think Shannon would have been as upset. I
No, or
really don't.
just take a knee and say, I'm sorry that I'm sorry I exposed that. Just take a knee, because I'm sorry I'm yelling into all of you, I'm yelling at all of you, but
Girl,
like,
it makes you want to holler.
it does, because like, you followed it up with such a nasty comment about the situation. No one could ever believe that you were trying to empathize after what you said. You were so careless. You went straight to hell. She didn't care about her dad. She only doesn't want to look like an alcoholic. Wow,
That was the truth.
that's your remedy for Shannon being
Mm,
upset
mm.
that you outed her father on camera. Nobody wants to be called an alcoholic on national TV on a show you're not on when you're in your 90s, and you get out of here. All of it. Ooh, elder abuse. No, it was just really bad. And like, these are the moments the audience is looking at Tamara to just say shut up, just shut up and say I'm sorry. Just say I'm sorry. I was trying to empathize with you and I outed some sensitive information. I felt like it had already been shared. I messed up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Then
Do
it could be, cuz then we're good.
do what Lisa did.
Yeah.
As soon as it was brought to your and everybody listening and watching, listening attention, the first thing Lisa said was, at in that particular moment, I will never bring up
Yep.
your family again. I'm so sorry. I apologize. That's it. Don't try
Yep.
and validate and justify that what you did wasn't as bad. No, bitch. No. Ooh. It just make you want to holler, bitch, scream, all that, because
Yep.
it's
B
so
word.
infuriating for her to think
Yes.
that she's justified in her
Yes.
behavior. Bitch, you're the one in therapy. I'm just saying. I'm just
And then
saying.
there's the follow up to what you did, shows that you really didn't care about the mistake that you made, because you then said something really foul. It's really an awful thing to say. And then you have no apology for that. You are, well, cuz I was mad. Get, where's the line where you're just sorry because you said something unforgivable?
That's what Shannon asked.
Hey,
And that was just the most horrible thing. You know why? She doesn't want to be held accountable. She
nope,
just
nope.
refuses to change. Bottom line, she just wants to sit in her spew of being a nasty woman, and she, because she gets paid for it. Well, again, what happened to the baptism? Since we want to go back, what would Jesus do? What happened to that season? How'd you go from that, from then to that to this?
I would just start pouring water on Tamara like they did to Brittany. I would just start pouring water. You say something like all the way straight to hell, bitch, your soul's on fire. Let me cool you off. I
I
would just
got one
start,
better. How about we pull Nickelodeon
oh,
back into the spring and just draw the
slime.
slime and just have it
Hey,
come down from the boom box. I'm just saying.
you can't do that on television. You remember that show way back in the day?
Yes,
No, I 100% agree with you that here's the thing, Tamara, I do understand getting emotionally dysregulated enough that you start saying really mean stuff is a trauma response. It means that you're in a fight or flight nervous system state and you are trying to stop the attack by saying the nastiest thing you can to like shut it down. That is not an excuse. That's an explanation. That is an explanation. You are with a therapist now. You are hopefully exploring the fact that some of your trauma responses are just simply inappropriate, and it's up to you to get re regulated to be able to manage your emotions enough that you don't go to hell with people that you love, because just because you were in a dysregulated state and you weren't thinking clearly and you said something mean, it doesn't mean that you still said something that is unforgivable or that is not okay, or that you cut to the white meat, you cut to the bone, and you can't do that just because you're upset. Because all you did was get corrected by Shannon that she didn't want you talking about her father's drinking on camera. You didn't even get slapped in the mouth. So, and then
Girl.
you went to hell with your response, and then you want it to be okay because you were angry. No, you have an abnormally nasty response to any kind of emotional stimulation you don't like, and that's what you're trying to ask for some grace about, but you're not offering any apologies. You're not offering any apologies for anyone to want to give you grace. So the part, and so it's like, Tamara, there has to come a point where you just start acknowledging that your response to the situation was out of line and you're sorry. It's real simple.
Like Jim said.
You know,
Girl.
and here's another thing, Teddy, if you're watching,
I was
listening,
just about to bring it. Go ahead.
because
Get
I
it. Get it.
know,
Get it,
and then I
friend. Get it.
hand it over to you. Teddy, you have so many opinions and so many corrections and notes to give with Erica sitting there talking about everybody, and you do try to hold Tamara accountable sometimes. Where the hell are you trying to? You need to tell your friend. You need to tell her, because you see it, that she is being an a-holio. You know it. Teddy, you need to publicly say some ish on your friend.
Well, that wasn't the exact thing about Teddy I was going for,
You
but
say,
I
yeah,
wanted to
go.
say Tamara is weaponizing Teddy's whole situation for sympathy. I'm convinced. I'm convinced
Absolutely.
because again, Teddy is the was it one, two, three, the ninth housewife of Orange County.
Yeah, really.
And it's no shade to her. It's all towards Tamara. Tamara, it's like as soon as she gets in, I'm just thinking about Teddy. Okay, so why does being nasty and rude and conniving, manipulating, and trifling is a direct result of you being concerned for your friend's health? That doesn't go together.
Well, Teddy's in remission. What's your excuse now? You said on the reunion, Teddy was they have no detectable tumors on her. And so what's your excuse now?
They're all season long. I'm
Yep.
just so concerned for my friend, but your response is not congruent with what you're saying about you being in such turmoil. Because I don't know about you, but when so much concern and 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 wanting better for seems to be the result of thinking about your friend. So how does all that jumble up into a ball of terror for whoever you feel like throwing the ball at? I just don't see the connection. So again, you're lying. I think you're weaponizing Teddy's whole disease situation, and bless Teddy. Let's really hope that she no longer has to go through anything, and she is in remission for life, and she lives a vainglorious future.
Yeah,
I just want her friend to stop weaponizing you, Teddy, because that's what it seems like. Sorry.
well, Teddy even said, no, you brought up a great point, because Teddy even said, I've caught a few episodes here and there, just to kind of, me, I'll always watch some outside of this just to get some extra
Please
info
do.
on what's going down. Teddy
Yeah.
said it is very weird to be the subject matter on a housewife show when she's been fired, but then again, she's making so much money talking about everybody. So turnabout is fair play. And I do know that anxiety can manifest as irritability, like when someone is scared. So if you're scared that you're going to lose your business partner, and that your contract, and that the life that you feel so bolstered in outside of the housewife show, right? Because Tamara knows she has her podcast and their network that they have created to go back to if they kick her off. And I think
Mm-hmm.
losing Teddy was a real threat to that, because I wouldn't want to listen to Tamara without Teddy. Like, I barely want to listen to them together anyway. But, however, to your point, none of this is an excuse. None of this is a free pass. We're speculating as to why you're walking around here, queen asshole. But, like, it's not okay, though. So,
Girl, leave Teddy out of this. Because we don't want to think nasty thoughts when we think about Teddy. How about that? Whew, big ups to Teddy. Okay, next. Katie is defending herself, y'all, but not to my liking.
yeah.
But who am I? I'm just somebody listening, watching, listening, commenting, carrying on. I'm a fan since season 1, even before Katie even knew there was an OC or a Real Housewife. But
Yeah.
listen, Katie. Okay, I'll just say it. Katie defending herself. And then, the Emily and Katie's going back and forth. Emily kind of turns the knife when saying that she's believing Alexis because no matter what Katie says, she don't believe it. Well, okay, you have every right to feel how you feel and say that, but you can't really believe that nothing she says is truthful because she says something about your kids when you did it to her first. And yes, even though you didn't outright call her kids this, that, and the third, the whole situation is what Katie is trying to make you still be accountable for. Go, Katie, for that. But Emily, again, when I say talking about her kids, what I meant to say is, Emily, you did it first. You started first. So the fact that it's being brought up again in response, because that's how she believes that's what she's hanging on to. Well, you're hanging on to this also. So everybody can just keep hanging on a thread. But Emily, you have to take what it is and move on. And just because you don't like the woman because of what she said about your kids and whatnot, you have to take it just like you want her to take what you said. I mean, I don't know. How do you feel about that?
I do think it was a misstep, Katie. I've said this from the jump. Katie's daughter said on camera when she babysat the Heather comment, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was the initial blow. That was a misstep. Katie needed to apologize and put a muzzle on that kid. Like, I'm sorry, whatever. I still think Emily annihilated her at the reunion, and Katie had every right to feel attacked and humiliated. Emily was brutal and ruthless. It just was. She leveraged her law expertise to make Katie look like a bad mother in what sounds like one of the most vulnerable times of her life. Emily apologized to Katie for that and owned that part, like you're saying. I don't think Emily took any accountability for the fact that she really did go after Katie in a nasty way, and so then Katie fought back. But Katie's really honestly continued to make missteps. It looks like trying to control the narrative with her playing around with the press. But I do not think
Yeah.
Emily properly took accountability for what she did to Katie. I don't. And
Mm-hmm.
they could have gotten to a bygone situation if they had maybe had more understanding, but Emily still feels very justified in hating Katie. You can see it.
Right. Right.
Not hating, but
No, I think it's hey.
okay, hey, we'll stick with that one. We'll stick with that one.
Yeah, let's keep it. Keep it.
Yeah, that's the energy we got.
Dang, Katie. Okay. Um, and then Katie also started going to Jen, like we've been saying all season, right? When is Jen gonna get her just due for
Yep.
trying to be oblivious when she really know the real tea? And Katie, chimed in to Jen. You were there, you know what was going on, you know what was said. But then Katie wants to act like, well, what'd she say? I wrote it down. That Katie gives weird stories, so it's hard for her to believe. But you were there. And
She
that's the
does
thing
kind.
that Jen is not owning up to, being around to hear it come from the horse's mouth.
Yes. And Katie does have weird stories. That's kind of the problem. It's like everything has a caveat. She's not real good at standing on business. She's just not. Because I feel like she tried with Emily, but Emily is so forceful that like she kind of washed over Katie. I think it goes back to your initial cry to Katie, like, come on, we're giving you a chance. Stand 10 toes down here, ma'am. You know, maybe that's just not your personality, but let's put it this way, it's not coming off well. It's like it's in this arena, you know.
You know, tangent, I put my phone on silent, but somehow or another, these messages is dinging through, child. I don't understand. And I really don't feel like going through no owner's manual to figure out what's going on with this phone.
I don't know, ma'am. So forgive
Yeah.
us. Occasionally you hear life peeking through on both our ends, you know, because we got lives. We're here to be live for you, and then our life wants to kind of kick in every now and
You
then.
know, I'm just saying. Anyway, okay, back to the show. Sorry, y'all. Okay. Yeah, so again, I guess because I'm so used to these ladies just really going for the jugular, but not so much in a negative way, really advocating for themselves in a more assertive way. That's what I want for Katie. She's so docile. She has a bit of, is it docility? Is that the word, girl? I don't know. She's so docile in how
Mm-hmm.
she's bringing her receipts or her truth or the truth and all of these, and how she defends herself. It just comes off lackluster. Like,
Yes.
she is she afraid to go harder? Because it's sometimes warranted. Like earlier when
Yes.
we talked about going back and forth with Jen about, no, you were there, you dating time and place and all that, timeline, receipts, pictures. It's just, girl, like, zhuzh it up a little bit. Don't just, well, yes, it was on, and not just the tone, just the whole everything, the whole package that Katie is bringing. And I really don't want her to think Matt's gonna back her up, because the women don't really respect the men on these shows. When the men wants to go back and forth, they find them to be, a little derogatory term that I'm really not gonna use. So Katie, you really need to really pipe up, in my opinion, and just really give it to him. Girl, you a little snooze fest when you're defending yourself.
I think that's the problem. You can have a more docile energy, but when you shoot a bullet, you need to snipe. Like, if you're going to say to Jen, like when you told me that
That's a good
Shannon was calling,
reason.
right? Like, because if you're, when you threw out that thing with Jen about Shannon calling Alex Baskin, you needed to make it land. And then we do need to see, especially because of all the accusations you have lobbied against you, stand on business. If someone did have that conversation, then be like, no, I'm not letting this go. Like, this is an area where, you need to either get more confrontational about the truths that you know, or you need to let those, like I said, you need to snipe with a calmer delivery, because it's not working for us in the sense of, I don't always agree when it becomes like a gladiator free for all, right? Like, I don't want women fighting so much that there's no humanity left in anybody. That's not fun. But there is a certain level of anger that comes from being unjustly accused that people are looking for from you. I mean, you were iced out, you were mistreated, and the audience rallied for you, but you're kind of looking like, you're not fighting for your place among these ladies, and that you're going to get lost in the sauce if we give you another season.
Another misfire,
Mm-hmm.
miscalculation, all of that was when the issue of the setting her up came up. Katie brought to the table that she was set up. It was said amongst Gina and Emily, and that's how she took it. She didn't expound on it, or I can't even say that production didn't show us. I really believe Katie laid down and took the first explanation when she should have went home, all three bases and the home plate with this, because that is the point of contention about her, about us not seeing her anymore, in my opinion. Setting her up, bringing the facts about these people being actors. Where was that talked about in this part of the reunion? Also bringing up how it was just so obvious that, all of my questions, I mean, where is the extension and conversation proving that you were set up? Because it does look that way. But it was just, oh no, we didn't set you up. It was just something we were just doing. And then went on from there. Excuse me?
Here's the part you can't argue. You're the one that told me to leave. You're the one that iced me out. You told me to leave your home. You're the one that didn't allow me to defend myself or to be, you're the one that mean girled the situation. Nobody set you up to do that.
That part. She could have said
So,
that. She could
yeah.
have bought that. It's just, it's like it's like she puts the chicken out on the table and expects people to take a piece, and when they don't, she just takes it back to the kitchen.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, there were other elements to go at. It doesn't matter. Sometimes, sometimes the devil is in the details, and then other times the devil is not. This whole idea was to get me. Production and you were cohorts, and then once you got the outcome you wanted, instead of even letting me try and figure this out, you sent me away, and it was horrible to be banished that way. You felt real justified in treating me like crap because you don't like me because of our kid stuff. And maybe you should admit that you were extra tender about your children because of all you were going through, and that you might have been a little extra mean because of it. Then we all could have been like, okay. But she didn't really fight for that at all.
All of what you said is so apropos, because all of those points she touched on, she just didn't expound to that extent.
Yeah.
And that's the issue. You have to expound, Katie, on these bullet points that are so on point that we need answers for. We're the ones, going to bat for you, and they don't even know we exist, probably. But the whole point is you have to advocate for yourself. And the reunion is the perfect opportune time, especially since we haven't seen you.
And if you know that the audience reaction was on your side, because Andy even brought that up, use that to your advantage and be like,
Girl.
you have the audience backing you up in this case, Take one out there and go to battle with the shield that we've given you.
And then Emily tries to change the subject. No, keep her on task.
Yeah.
Because she is your biggest enemy on this cast.
100.
Everybody else chimes in because they got just a little piece to say, but it's really between you and Emily. Then Gina explains the R comments that Katie mentioned. I didn't think so, but they were, they seem to be microaggressions and how you said it. I like Gina's explanation. Oh, go ahead.
I just want to, I agree. I mean, I think there, especially as white women, sometimes you just need to listen and just, accept, get informed, right? The one thing I do want to say in Gina's defense is, one thing, Katie, how many Asian outfits did you wear on the season? Or how many Asian outfits, designer? Did you do what you said? Because I think the part that Gina was trying to get at is that you would say stuff and then you wouldn't be able to back it up with your behavior. So I think that in general, we should just stay away from some of that stuff because it's a little bit of a landmine. But I'm just curious. Nobody asked her because nobody wanted to touch it. But did you feature any Asian designers? I'm just curious.
And sometimes the white people on the show should speak up. And just if they need to give a disclaimer or preface, fine, but just clarify, because, like you just mentioned, that should have been said on this reunion. To and Gina, for the most part, should have said the only reason why I said it in that way. Yes, I was perturbed, but not for race sake, but because she wasn't doing what she said she was going to do.
Yeah.
It just so happens that she's Asian and I'm white. That's the and I don't want that to be the point of contention with what I said, because had another Asian person said it, it wouldn't be an issue. But the issue at hand is, did you or did you not put on some Asian designers? I really wish, like you said, that would have been made the point of it all.
Agreed. Because listen, microaggressions are real, but just
Definitely.
like the Me Too movement is real, we need to be really
Definitely.
careful what we talk about under the cloak of them, because then
Mm-hmm.
we're going to dilute what they really are. And I'm
Right.
sorry, Katie, but you're looking a little bit like you're ducking and covering for any place you can, okay? Because let's talk about it. And maybe Gina can acknowledge, like, I didn't look at it as a microaggression. I looked at it as you backing up your word. But I do understand being an Asian woman, on a woman of color on this show, all of that. I'll take it as a microaggression. I'll learn from it. I'm sorry. We can
Right.
do both.
Right.
We can do both. But did you wear any Asian designers? And who? Give them a shout out, an opportunity to highlight them on this reunion.
Right. I just, yeah. And I think I said this before, because Gina was upset in the moment, it probably did come off.
Yeah.
Because if she was been like, hey, girl, so, where's the Asian designer? She would have said, then yeah, probably she would not have even made that comment, meaning what's her name? Katie would have never even said that to, was who she talked to, Gretchen or Shannon, when she said to Shannon out there riding them bikes.
She
So
did. She also said it to Kiki Monique.
there you go. So it never would have grew legs had
No.
Gina not been upset in the moment.
No,
So
and she go
yeah.
ahead, I'm sorry. No,
No,
I'm
I was
cutting you
done.
off.
No, I was done.
Well, and Gina said it as a dig. It was a dig because
Mm-hmm.
everybody felt entitled to be nasty to Katie at that point. Like, like
Mm-hmm.
you're
Mm-hmm.
lying, you're talking to everybody was pissed at her by how much she was trying to control the narrative by befriending the press. And that's where we really kind of go back to the main issue that everybody had with Katie. They all talk to the press, they all talk to bloggers. That's why I'm going to continue to criticize production for making this the major plot line, and where people felt entitled to diss her versus the others. It just looks like, unfortunately, Katie, you just kind of you went too much into trying to do it. Like, you weren't slick enough, you whatever, like, you basically got caught kind of betraying other castmates, and then now they're coming after you and you don't have any back game, you don't have a counter move, you're kind of now flailing, looking like the a-hole that flapped her gums a lot. The problem is, you look like you're trying to act like a certain level of innocent, and we don't know if we can buy it, because there does seem to be a very deep conniving level to what you were doing. We can't figure that part out, and the audience is struggling with your authenticity, because we don't know if you're a major liar or not, because every time you say something, you backtrack later.
Mm-hmm.
And we're having a hard time. So Gina felt entitled to come after you, and she used Asian designers to try and humiliate you. That is kind of a microaggression, being that you are a woman of color and that you are trying to embrace your Asian identity. So, both things can be true. You
Mm-hmm.
also at the same time are coming off real slimy. So, your word is a problem, and she was trying to address that with you too. It wasn't about Asian, it was about keeping what you said you were going to do. And yet again, are you?
And Katie has some valid points that she's bringing up.
Mm-hmm.
They're just not landing because she's not
No.
advocating for herself. in the most appropriate way to hold them accountable in their wrong.
Yep.
And girl,
Yeah.
you have it. You just can't execute it.
And that's why you might not be a good fit. Two things can be true. You were done dirty, but you might not be a good fit because you don't have it in you to like clock these heifers. You know,
Right, right.
because they got to
Now,
be clocked. They are clockable, but you're just not. Your stuff's not landing.
now we want you to be here justly. We don't want to,
Mm-hmm.
keep you on, with your orange like they gave Karen that sympathy flute. Just
Kiarna.
saying over there in Potomac because she got her forehead busted in.
Yep.
Now listen, we all know that was a sympathy flute. Do they have flutes? What they got over there?
I think they do, right? Yeah.
Potomac, girl, whatever they got, flutes, do,
Yeah.
dukes, boots, whatever oot they got.
Yeah.
We
Whatever
don't want you to have
accoutrement.
no sympathy oranges.
No props.
This needs to be
Yeah.
valid and just. Girl,
Mm-hmm.
step your pussy up.
Yeah. We were all rooting for you. We were Tyra Banks, babe. Come on. You absolutely nobody likes to see anyone ganged up on, but you have to be made of a certain metal, not personality, just metal. You have to have a certain constitution to be a housewife. If you can't get somebody back with the truth on your side, it's not a good fit.
And you are representing for the first Slasian, and that's all good, because I hear that term, because you slay being Asian. I hope it's not derogatory, but you are the first, like you said, Asian to grace the Housewives platform for the OC franchise. And you are bringing the whole thing down. Girl, step up.
It's just
Represent.
it's the performance has fallen flat, ma'am. I'm sorry. And we were
Please.
all, we all want to give you a shot and you had audience support, but we're struggling. So, I mean, maybe you're going to pull some rabbits out of some hats on the other parts of the reunion, but this is not landing that well.
Okay, third time's a charm. I predict she's coming back for season 20. And girl, if you don't get your ish together, but they owe you. Like I said, we don't want to give you a sympathy orange, but they owe you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Although, it's really interesting because, like, the only person that really would be her bridge back to the group is Tamra, and nobody likes her right now either. So I could almost see like a whack-a-mole with the two of them. Like, sorry, neither one of you get another shot.
link up. Oh shoot, that'd be funny if Tamara and Katie link up, child. That'll just be
Freaking
something off the chain.
yep.
Well, I think we're done with that. Gina's not a racist, period, point blank. Emily. Okay, this part was about the cheering, right? So we're hearing about the cheering, and not everybody chimes in, but for the most part, we hear a little bit about how Emily mentioned, and you kind of brought it earlier, how Emily, in her on her platform, she noticed a lot of other moms with kids of the similar issues of her special needs child mentioned that other kids who have similar spectrum issues were affected by this bacterial central nervous system disease through a cough, cold, something of the normal cold nature, but it affected the brain and carrying on to the point where it was detected. So she had them looked at. Of course, she's trying to figure stuff out. Her and Shane agreed that we'll have him tested and looked at, and lo and be fucking whole. He had whatever that exactly is called, and he's having to do brain laser treatments to help resolve the swelling of the brain. Girl, can you, girl?
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. There's a lot going on.
So, not that this will cure him of anything, but it'll get rid of, that organism that's making his brain swell, which would be exacerbating those symptoms about him being on the spectrum. That's pretty much how I took it as Emily explained it. So it doesn't hurt him. He's just having to go through laser treatments because that's the only treatment that they have apparently. And he's doing okay. Well, I haven't heard, she didn't say anything was wrong was going on. But isn't that remarkable that these organisms affect us in such a way? It's just it's crazy. That was something. Did you have anything to say about that?
No, I just hope that it's I hope that there is some I hope that it's successful. You know what I mean? Like I just
Yes.
hope that there's a reduction of symptoms and the whole thing.
Yeah, we want him all well and everything because
Yeah.
he has a lot to offer the world, and he is quite the charmer. I love how I don't know what it is, but sometimes when I see little boys' haircuts look like that, it just they look like little men. Him and his twin brother, it's just a shame duplication. It's just so cute to see them. And sometimes they may come up in the shop with their, kind of dressed up and everything. So, oh, they look so professional. They look so cute. Anyway, next we have Dawson, who is Jen's 18, almost 19-year-old son. He's the one going into the Marine, the one who suffered that, blackout of whatever, getting his tattoo. And then he had the same situation at boot camp. Is that what I heard her say?
Yeah. Yeah, he's a fainter.
Girl, how you gonna make it? How's that gonna work? With him being, I wonder if it's stress related. Girl, I mean, I don't know. Like he may need to think of a new career. I don't know, child. I guess they know they're doing. But with him being in the Marines, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Now, I don't know everything. I'm just worried just because it's surface level. But it just seemed concerning that he faints that like that. I wonder what that is. Have you heard of that besides the tattooing?
Um, it just seems like he's prone to fainting, and some people are. Maybe his blood sugar, a little hypoglycemia, just different things.
Hmm. Well, bless his heart and
Yeah.
all that, so that he doesn't, get into any more trouble or any trouble with that fainting and everything. I hope he's on the road to wellness as well as Emily's son. Oh, this was a tearjerker part with Tamara. Now we've been giving Tamara the BLUES, but she mentioned that she was in communication with her daughter, Sydney. Things is turning around. Their daughters were going out for lunch or something. She came to the house to, because her other daughter was there. Sorry, I forgot her name.
Sydney
And
and Sophia.
Sophia, thank you. And
Hmm.
Sydney is the one that's estranged. And they greet each other physically, and then to the point where Tamara didn't want to let her go because her estranged daughter said, can I hug you? Oh,
Yeah.
girl, I ain't gonna, I cannot lie, my eyes watered because no matter what, it is the sweetest thing for your child to love you, and hold on to you. It's just something about holding on. It's just something about that is just so adorable. And I'm so glad to hear that. Now I hope her mention her didn't cause no rift. But yeah, good for them. Hmm.
Hey, Shelby's. I hope I'm saying it right. Shelby Z, Shelby, thank you for joining us. I see you in the chat. We're still hoping DM Rocks is listening because we would love to hear about. Maybe we could reach out to her and have her join us for the next reunion if she's not still, or if they are not still around. I'm sorry. I'm like assuming DM Rocks is a she. I should not do that. But this is a tender moment. I do agree. I
Yes.
really do hope Tamara can repair the relationship with her children, period. I'm sure it is a tender thing and hurts, all of that, I do.
Oh, so sweet.
That's the only time you're going to say that about her, I have a
You know,
feeling.
it does not absolve anything or nothing else. This is just
No.
a tangent of, oh, how sweet. Anyway, good for them. Yeah, that was pretty much it for all the update on the cheering. Nobody else really said anything. Oh, Shannon's daughter is out there hanging out in the Eastern Hemisphere in Europe and carrying on. Just having a great time. We haven't heard anything, so good. No news is good news.
Yep. That's one
Just
thing. You
saying.
can say what you want about Shannon and her husband, but they raised, they raised some productive, it looks like good, good humans. Daughters
Yes.
they can be proud of.
Yes. Now, my girl Gretchen comes on the stage. Yes, 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 yes. And she cleared up some things. She is a digital marketer, pretty much influencer. She makes her money online. She's been doing it for a long time. Like I said, I remember her having a house full of products and purses and things that she was selling and whatnot and not what. So good for her. She has multiple streams of income. Ain't nobody hurting over there. And then she's asked about her husband, her man Slade, and first of all, she said use Gretchen code 20. There you go. Plug, plug, plug. There you go, boo. And then she's asked about her man Slade and what does he do? He's a consultant for whatever. She didn't say exactly what. And also, now this was surprising. He knows someone who is on the Liberace Foundation. He's an active board member, and that's also a part of his income situation. So, you know, I think our questions have been answered. Do you think or no? I'm
Uh,
laughing.
yeah. Yeah, I believe that as much as I believe Liberace was straight.
Wait, what? I was laughing. What did you say about Liberace?
I said I believe in Slade's business consulting as much as I believe Liberace was straight.
Oh, now see.
Yeah. But it's fine. Whatever. Honestly, it's none of my business, to be honest. Like whatever you do to bring in income and how you run your household and how you divvy all of that up, it's none of my business, honestly. And I think we need to stop looking at women breadwinners as though there's something to be ashamed of because, maybe I think Gretchen likes it that way after 17 years together, you know? If she didn't, I don't think they'd still be together raising their daughter. So whatever they're doing is working for them, and you have to hand it to the longevity of their relationship. I do believe no matter what you think about Gretchen, that she and Slade are genuine partners as far as in a relationship.
And speaking of that, I love how they had the ceremony, but they pulled a Yandy and Mendices where the paperwork wasn't submitted. So essentially they are husband and wife
I guess whatever.
without the law's validation.
Just like listen, I don't know why you haven't done it now. Apparently Slade's still not able to escape the debt that he has, whatever his financial ruin. I know that unfairly, I will say there's so many nuances when it comes to this kind of stuff. We all know he did fail on his support for his son. I think it's disrespectful to his son's mother to act like he didn't let her and his son down in many ways. However, whatever accrued debt he accrued, he did lose his shirt in the mortgage industry. He did struggle with, certain things. And I understand that, like, I don't necessarily think, I don't know what I think about Slade, but like, I don't think he's walking around like a total villain. I think that he got, you know, I think she hasn't married him because of his own financial issues, obviously. And this whole spiritual marriage shit, whatever, you guys, like, I roll my eyes, you know but they're still together, and they're still, and that's fine. Although I will say this, you really, really, really need to be careful about the accounts you follow and the values you have that are very conservative in your Christianity, if you won't get married, because that's a sin, and you're living in sin if you're living to those standards. So watch it with your holier than thou. If you're liking anti-gay or trans, or if you're even careless enough, you're still following those accounts, and that is still, you still have a Trump hat on, you're still doing a lot of things, and you are living in sin. So reconcile that for me.
Now, you just read my girl for filth, and I appreciate it because no one can take that away from you. What you said was apropos. But Gretchen is my girl, and I'm going to say
I
this.
know.
Show me where she put on the MAGA hat. I just want to see it because
I can show you. I'll show you.
I'm a reader for filth for that. Now, this isn't me going against you. I'm just saying that's
No,
my
I know.
girl.
She is your girl. No, no, there's a video of it. That's why I bring it up. There's a video
Okay.
circulating.
And,
It's
and, and that's
it's
fine.
it's during
Now,
the first election. But anyway.
now, I want Gretchen to also not be involved in any type of hate speech
Yep.
because you don't have to like it to like it.
Yeah. And you
You
don't have to
ain't,
follow it.
you know, that part, because you are on a platform to where you will be removed from all platforms if you continue to participate, if you continue to show us that you are participating in hate and what people deem as hate, not what you consider hate, because people seem to think hate is subjective just so that they can still hate. But the fact that whatever they are reading that you participated in reads hate speech, I'm prone to believe that it's hate speech. And I would like to see it, but I don't need to. So moving forward, Gretchen Rossi, it's imperative that you protect your brand. If you listen, watch, and listen, anybody know Gretchen, girl, listen, take heed now. It's imperative that you protect your brand and that you move in this entertainment world carefully and without any misstep, because this is major. A lot of important people take heed to things like this. And it just so happens this past week, some people have been shooed away because they've practiced in some form of fashion participating in hate speech against a group of folks that shouldn't be hated on. So just
Yeah.
saying, just saying.
It's the truth. Gretchen, you got to listen. If you're Christian enough, if you're not Christian enough that you're okay with the fact that you're not legally married, that you're not married to your partner, then you don't get to stand on your religion, that it's a dicey area, you know, glass houses. And I understand that we are suspending, if we knew how all of these ladies felt, and not just on the OC franchise, but other franchises, we might not like them. But you can't claim that you don't have hate in your heart if you're following, people that call gay people pedophiles. Like, you can tailor. I'm sure there are like-minded Christians that don't do that, though. And you follow that, like, there's more care you could take as a public figure to what you engage in, and you can still be a woman of faith. Or you can be honest about the fact that you are a conservative woman of faith and some of your values might upset people. Stand behind them. If that's how you are, if that's what you truly believe, stand up then and be that. You got to figure that out. You can't shuck and jive and get to have white privilege and just skate around the fact that you might like some problematic stuff, because you are a very conservative Christian, and if that's how you live, then you need to let everybody know. And you also, you're a sinner because you living in sin. You ain't married. So figure it out. That's what I say there. It's not that I dislike Gretchen. I don't think that she's necessarily I don't think she's a malicious person, but I do think that she is an example of white privilege and how you want to sit in a place where you can kind of like pick and choose. But like, if you have conservative values, you need to stand behind them.
You know, it's one thing I disagree with. I think at times she can be malicious. I don't want that to spill over into hating on anybody who's a part of the letter folk.
Right. That's, hey, I'll take it because that's your girl. So I was trying to be, but you're right.
I mean,
yeah,
it is what it is, and how her and Tamara went back and forth the last 7 minutes of this show.
Yes, agreed.
It's you know, it's you know, her wanting to get back is still there, just like Tamara's. They still want to prove themselves by disproving the other, and by any means necessary.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. I could be wrong. I don't think I am. But that's how I see it. But no matter what, we're both saying move in a better direction so that you're not, if you want to be portrayed as something that you are. Is that fair to say?
That is fair to say.
Okay.
I think so. Absolutely. Well, I think we're bringing up the point about all of this. You know, it's like Gretchen, as you said a million times, and we talked about this, you could have come in on a victim card. We all would have been rallying for you. You are showing your skirt a little bit. I think one thing that some other commentary channels that I watch have brought up is that we all are kind of tired of like you bringing up stuff from like 2013 or whatever the hell, you know, like there does need to come a point where you both re-engage with one another, where you stop doing that. But this, I think, leads to the next issue that even Andy tried to bring up, is that Tamara, you have dirt and you hold it and you put it out there. You're the one that said Katie had a recording of Shannon. Oh, what do you think about the vice versa, where she was bringing up that Shannon recorded Vicky? I don't know what, okay, part of me is like, that's not on this show. That's off camera. That was a weird situation where Shannon felt concerned because she was staying there, whatever. And like, I don't know, like Tamara was weaponizing that to make Shannon look like a hypocrite. But it was not anything that had to do with the show. But I guess it could make Katie's story a bit more reasonable in the situation, given that Shannon did the same thing. But I don't necessarily feel like this is an apples to apples situation. I don't know.
It wasn't, and you're right. She was weaponizing again, trying to bring up something to justify and prove her to be right and just in the bullshit that she's doing. No, as Shannon said, it was not the same thing, because Shannon feared for Vicky's safety. That was the reason why she pressed record, which is what we would do as friends, and then immediately deleted it. She didn't share with anybody. Hello. She didn't go around, parading it, or nor does she even want to mention it, because it's a null and void situation. Nothing transpired. She didn't need to produce it for any litigious reason. So no, it's not the same as Katie playing it or sending it to any third party, whether it was her husband, Matt, or Alexis Bellino. So, no, Tamara, it's not the same. And that's why, because you think everything you do and say is on point when it's not, that's the issue at hand that you need to reconcile. And you need a new therapist, because I'm sick and tired. This therapist is fluffing her, because at some point, at this point, Tamara should not be doing that, trying to bring up stuff on people to justify her. Because, like the old saying, if your friends jump off a cliff, are you gonna jump off too? That's
Yeah.
exactly the the whole premise to how Tamara is moving with this group. Well, she jumped off the cliff, so I'm gonna jump off too. See, nah, boo boo. Mm-mm.
You're so hurt that nobody trusts you, but you literally you use your podcast to defamate characters. You use your podcast to you say, "Oh, well they gave us the topic, so we chose to talk about it or not so that you're privy to all of these rumors and nastiness," to quote Meredith. But like you are still bringing them up on the show when it's advantageous to you having that insider track, and you wonder why they say they can't trust you. You have a platform where you can go burn the house down, and you have minions to do it. You have Teddy and Erica Jane, just because you aren't doing it yourself, and everyone knows that. And for you to sit there and act hurt that people are worried about you doing that when that's all you've done this season is insane.
And let's not forget, while in Amsterdam, Tamara gets a ding from whatever social media alert about Jen's financial woes from that for eviction thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you didn't even have to say anything, but you chose to, because you think it's fodder for this show. And then
You
Jen has to go back and discuss that. And we didn't even hear about it anymore.
And
So,
listen, let's be real. You brought Jen. I ran right over you. I'm sorry. You brought
no, it's
Jen
all good.
on to literally air her dirty laundry. And that's why Jen feels so betrayed by you, because she thought you guys were friendly, and you literally looked at her as a big fat storyline to exploit, because she had all kinds of salacious little elements to it. And like, that's the prime beef. Don't act like you ever cared about this woman. You saw her as an opportunity to just get some storyline, and you felt super justified doing it because you felt like Ryan was a sleazebag. And you've been doing that to everybody. And there's just not one time during even Andy's looking at you like you're nuts. And when he's doing that to you on your reunion, you need to pivot. You need to pivot. Come on.
Hashtag pivot.
Seriously, take a knee. Just
Hashtag take a knee.
when you're dead, hashtag when you're dead, lie down.
There you go.
Cause
You gonna hashtag her into doing the right thing.
yeah,
Hashtag do
like
the right thing.
at the very least, I'd respect you if you could at least admit you have a little bit of privilege because of the way you play both sides of the fence. Don't act
Hashtag
like you don't.
I'm a hashtag. I'm a hashtag her into doing the right thing.
Right? Do
Moving
it.
forward. Moving freaking forward. Hashtag Tamara, do the right thing.
Yep.
Hashtag Tamara, get a new therapist. Hashtag get Dr. Francis. He will get her right in three sessions.
Somebody needs to send her a moral compass.
Hashtag get a moral compass. Woo, child. That's all my notes for this episode. And then on the bottom, ooh, can't wait for part two.
Yeah.
Child, part two. Because that's when all the good junk is gonna come out. And I think that's when Gretchen's gonna bring out her receipts on Tamara with all this newfound stuff that we learned on the finale and carrying on. Yeah, I think part two is gonna be real juicy.
I agree.
Mouth water.
We are on a runaway train, so I'm here for let's go. There's no looking back.
And again, big ups to all of the wayward relationships, parents and their children, friendships that are coming together. I'm glad that for the most part, these women don't have problems with troubled children, because in the previous of the series, we were having some issues with the kids, being wayward. But I'm really happy to see that these kids are making their parents proud, for if that's a correct way to say it, because I would hate to see that. It was hard. It was hard to see that earlier in the series, but
Mm-hmm.
it just was, on my heart to say that I'm really happy to see that they're really just beefing with each other.
Yep.
Oh Lord. Well, that was it, y'all. You have any final words for
I haven't
this?
seen DM Rocks respond in any way, so she might, or they might have jumped off. DM, hit us up in the comments or any sort of way. Psychic ELB underscore ELB Ray Ray all day on YouTube. That's our Instagram handles. Please reach out to us, even if you don't want to be on come on the live or whatever. We would love to hear what your experience was. We even if you don't want us to share, we would love to hear, just because you have some of the most inside track attending such event. We would love to hear your perspective on the reunion watch party. So please, if you're still watching, listening, as Ray Ray likes to say, reach out to us. We would love to hear more from your experience.
For sure. And if you, however you would like to disseminate the information, is fine.
Yep.
It won't even listen, as long as we're coming on for the reunions part 1 through 3.
Yep.
We welcome you at any part of these commentaries
Yes.
to come in with any exclusive. That's anybody. If you have any, exclusive tea on anything about these women, that's fine. We will welcome you on. Now, we ain't just putting people up here just to be, saying any old crazy stuff. We're talking about actual factual, intel that, would shed light or make it a little more interesting to hear about these ladies. But again, this ain't no mess. We ain't doing no mess. We just want to hear some real life experience that you've had with these ladies in a, and not a messy way, if you get my drift.
100, yes, yeah, but that was exciting. We would love to follow up
Yeah.
with you. And this was, hey, I was entertained. I don't like this dynamic. These ladies hate each other right now. It does not feel good. But it is interesting TV, that's for dang sure.
Yes. Oh, well, y'all, we appreciate you for tuning in. We appreciate all of the love. Come back again. But before we come back again, let's find out where Erin will be when she ain't talking ish with me.
You can catch me on Facebook, Psychic Aaron Boyd, spelled in the chat if you want to, the name. Also, Instagrams and Threads, Psychic underscore ELB. Hit me up. I am running a November special for discount way lower than even half for a 45-minute reading. So hit me up in the DMs if you would like to do that. But otherwise, you'll catch me here.
And y'all, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. When you subscribe, make sure that bell is black so you know every time that we go live, or even if we put out a recording, whatever is on this channel, you will be notified. And check us out on all of our other platforms. And we'll catch you next time. You have a good one. Bye, y'all.